Welcome, Rockstar. So you're here for a reason. That's because you want to get access to the event growth grid. I'm excited to get this in front of you. If you was to jump inside your email inbox right now, there should be an email sat there waiting for you. Open that up. There's a link inside of there. Click on the link and it's going to give you access to what you can see here. What you'll need to do is you will need to come over to File. You'll need to make a copy. You don't have to retitle it, but give it your own title. Make your own copy, because this is the master copy. You can't inject data into this one at all, but make your own, save your own, and that's where you can input all of your data. So let's jump into this. So this is the event sales dashboard. Now, it might look a little bit daunting. There's a lot of figures here, and the only areas where you actually input data is in the top left hand quadrant round here. Everything else is going to be manipulated from these figures or from the figures that you actually input into the daily momentum scorecard tab here. So you don't touch anything else. You just inject data here, then everything else is hands off. It's automated, pre-populated, right? So let's break this down. Let's jump into this. So sales target. This is the sales target. This is what you want to create from an event. So whatever that may be for you, right? So if you want to look at getting a $20,000 event, you put your figure in there. If it's the first time you've actually ever run an event, then maybe $10,000, right? But whatever it may be, if you are seasoned and you're going for a big event, you put your target in there, whatever it may be. It works on all figures. So for this example, we're going to put in $20,000. Then below that, you're going to put in your offer price paid in full. So whatever it is to work with you to get part of your program, your coaching container, paid in full, you inject that figure there. So for this example, let's just put either not 5,000, not 500, but $5,000. And then underneath there, offer price PP, which is part payment. It's optional, but if you do have one, then input that figure in there as well. And then what we're doing here, this is now beyond this, below this. This is not monetary value, this is percentage value. And these percentages really are based on your skill set, around your expertise, on your experience in actually running, performing, holding online events. So if you've never held an online event before, then your percentages are going to be relatively low. You've just got to accept that until you've built up the skill set to present, to perform on an event, to sell on an event. Then if the skill set's not there yet, then you've got to just understand that your percentages will be low. So don't have high expectations, but do more, increase that skill set, get better, get more experience, and your figures, your percentages will climb higher. But let me give you an example of what this looks like. So application to sale, again, we're working backwards, right? So this is when somebody gets to the end of your event and you invite them to apply to work with you, they fill in to speak your calendar to speak with you, they jump on a call. This is from application to sale. So this is the conversion on the sales call. So if you are less experienced on sales conversation, right, you might go 30%. It is what it is. If you are more experienced and you close 50% people, then you put your data in here, right? Now, the next field below that is attendees to application. So this is like everyone that shows up on your event, from all the attendees that show up on your event to the amount of people that actually apply to work with you at the end of the event. And again, as you can see, this all depends on your skill set of presenting, of performing, of showing up, of serving, of delivering, and also not just you as the presenter, the messenger, but also the slide decks, the offer that's in, and everything that's inside the training that you're going to take them through. So let's say for this example, 20%, right? Or maybe 30% if you've got actually done more, you've got experience, and you've got a high level skill set of presenting, and all your slide deck is dialed in, and you've done it a few times. That might even be higher, right? Depending again on not 340%, but it also depends again on how seasoned you are, but the quality of the audience that you bring into the room too. It all makes a difference. They're all different variables. So we're putting 40% here. And then the show rate. So the show rate is from everybody that actually registered for the event. We know that not everybody's going to show up, right? We know that not everybody's going to show up. There's going to be a drop off. There's going to be a percentage of people that no shows. It's life, it's business. Ideally, you want to be focusing for 80%. If everything's dialed in, if everything's stacked up, it should be 80%. But from these figures here, from these data points, the dashboard is now telling us, okay, so based on these figures, we need 4 clients, a $5,000 to a $20,000 outcome. Stands to reason, easy maths. But now it's telling us with these percentage levels, we need 8 people to actually apply to work with you. We also need 20 people to actually show up live inside the event and sit through the event. And we need 25 people to actually register for the event. Now that's based on these percentages. Let's say that you wasn't as seasoned as what these data points are saying, and let's say that you close at 20%. Let's say that from attendees to application is 25%, and let's say your show rate is 70%. Again, I'm playing with data, right? But I'm assuming that maybe you've not held as many events as maybe others. But you can see already, right, the data is changing. It's telling us now, okay, well, because you're not as seasoned, you're not as skillful, you still need to practice a lot more, and you still need to get things dialed in, and there's still a lot of variables that you need to work on, that the numbers are higher. So we now need to make sure we get 20 people to actually apply to work with you. You need actually 80 people in the room, and you actually need 115 people to actually register for the event. Now, they're terrible numbers, right? You should never have numbers like that. But I'm just playing with the numbers, and I'm showing you as an example, right? But you can see here now, the main 2 figures here are bigger than bolder in your face, and you can see that in order to get this goal here, then you need to be making sure we get 20 applicants at the end of this event. We need to be doing whatever we can do possible to make sure that we get 80 people live in the room on the event, right? Let's just make this, before we move on, let's just make this a little bit more enticing, right? Sale 30%, application, no, sale, sorry, 50%. Because if you do a good job with everything else, then everybody that applies with you to work with you, right, you should be getting 50% of people to actually go straight through and invest in you. Let's say that 30 people actually of the attendees apply to work with you, and your show rate is 80%. You're always going to have a drop off. Always going to have some people that can show up because life has happened somewhere, right? But now at these figures, because we've developed the skill set, we've got more experience, we actually only need 8 applicants to apply to work with us on the event. We actually now only need 27 people to actually attend the event, and we actually only need 34 people to actually register for the event, right? Now, at this level, you've mastered sales, running events, selling events and everything. But spent a bit of time on that because I just wanted to manipulate figures to show you what it can look like on both spectrums. Now let's have a look at the daily momentum scorecard. Yes, we're going to post content. We're going to promote through content in every different areas, right? Stories, reels, lives, content, short form, medium, long form, videos. You're going to do all the stuff that you can do possible to get the right message out there in front of your audience, to get people to bring attention to it, to create visibility around it, to get people to register on the back of it. But we're not going to rely on the algorithm. We're also going to take control of this. We're going to be more proactive and have conversations with followers, with people that engage with your content, with your community members, with your email list, with your subscribers, with whatever, right? Wherever you've got a community of people, we're going to engage with people one-to-one. That means we're being proactive in getting our message in front of the right people and the masses in order to make sure that we get those registrants. Everything else is a bonus. So here is daily scorecard. This is where you're going to be scoring your performance levels each and every day to promote your event. So as you can see here, we've got growth tasks down the left-hand column, and then we've got days of the week across here, and then we've got week 1, 2, week 3, and 4, and 4. So if, say, example, today is Monday, and your event is 2 weeks on Monday, you know you've got a 15-day runway to promote your event. So we're going to do whatever we can do to make sure that we max out on getting those registrations that we need in order to hit the KPIs and the numbers and the outcome that we want. So let's say on Monday you went full out, right? And you had 50 conversations. And from those 50 conversations, you invited, shall we say, 36 people to the event, and 36 people said, yeah, wow, I would love to join the event. Now, instead of just sending them, like, that's too extreme. Let's not play with, let's be real here. Let's say that you didn't have 50 conversations. Let's say they had 35. And let's say from 35, let's say that 24 people came back and said, yeah, I'm interested. From those 24 people, instead of just sending them a registration link, you actually invite them to a quick 5-minute chat where you make sure that they're the right people for the room, but you're also making sure that, like, these people are going to benefit from being in the room, right? So it works both ways. So we have a quick 5-minute chat with them, ask them a few questions, we qualify them, and like from the 24 people that say, yes, I'm interested, let's say that 17 people actually qualify. So you send them registration links, and from the 17 registration, like the registration links you send out, let's say that only 14 people actually register. It's cool. And then on Tuesday, you do 22 messages. And from the 22 messages, you get 12 people to come back and say, yes, I'm interested. From the 12 people there, let's say that you say, hey, are you available just for a quick 5-minute chat? I just want to make sure that this is the right event for you, because I don't want to waste your time. And I really want to make sure that you're going to benefit from this event. Yeah, no problem at all. So you jump on FaceTime, you ask them 2 or 3 questions, you qualify them, you send them the registration link. So let's say that you do 7 quick chats and you send the links out, and let's say that all 7 register. Amazing. And you're going to do that each and every day, right? Now you can see at the end here, you got a weekly growth tab here. Now, let me show you something that's freaking sexy. So right now, everything that you look at is just data. It's just number. It's just numbers, right? It's just data in a spreadsheet. There's nothing sexy about that. But you can see that things are working, and you can see that there's growth happening there. But what happens if you change that data to monetary data? Now that changes the dynamics, right, of just seeing registered data. So let me show you what I mean. Now let's just jump into the event sales dashboard, and you can see here registration sales value. So from the 21 people, from the 21 people that's actually registered so far, and from you selling a $5,000 offer, total potential sales value of 21 people sat in your pipeline at this level is worth to you $105,000. That's potential money sat in your room when these people come into your event. Right? When you see data turn to monetary value like that, and you can see this amount of money just sat in your audience, that's going to help you to level up, right? Because you want to collect as much as that as possible, right? You want to serve as many of them people as possible, to collect as much as that money as possible. So I think that's a sexy ass thing to have in here. So also, as you are doing this on a daily basis, now let's say that as an example, let's say that the event was on Thursday, right? So let's just carry on with this. So let's say that we wanted 27 attendees. We've already got 21 attendees. Let's say we just do a little bit more. Let's say that on Wednesday we push the boat out, right? And we get another 7 people that are interested. We have another call, 5 people register, amazing stuff. And then the event is today, but we're going to push the boat out, really make sure that we're going to win with making sure we get maximum attendees inside of here. We get another 17 people say, yes, I'm interested. You have another 11 calls. And after those 11 calls, you get 6 people actually register, right? So again, the numbers have just like grown massive now. You can see the potential sales value that's going to attend your event is potentially $160,000. Now, on the event, Thursday, let's say on Thursday, you from the 32 people that's actually registered, let's say from there, we get 5 people that actually register or apply to have a call with you, right? Nothing's changed yet. Nothing's changed yet. But let's say that from those 5, let's say that you held 2 calls that same day. And that same day, you had 2 paid in full sales. Now let's have a look at the event sales dashboard. You see data changing here. It's paid sales in full, 2 at $10,000 because it's $5,000 each. So we've got $10,000. Total month sales from this event, $10,000. So you can see event paid in full value there, right? And the total event value there. But the sales are not over with because we've still got another 3 people that's booked call with us. And let's say that we had 3 people that booked calls the following day. And let's say that we had another one paid in full. And let's say from there, we just had 1 here. We had 1 part payment. Now let's have a look at the event. So now we've got 1 part payment. Total sales is 17,500. So you can see the dashboard now working, right? This gets really exciting. This gets really, really exciting. So that's how that works in its entirety. Now let's have a look at the prospect pipeline tracker. Now, most trackers or most CRM systems don't track data at conversational level. They just track how many emails you've got in today, right? It's not tracking individual conversations. And there's a sales conversational journey that you need to take people through. And there's different questions you need to ask them in order to get them to a position where they're actually registering for the event, right? So we've got a very simple prospecting tracker here that you can use. So it's self-explanatory, right? We've got prospect name, put the prospect name in there. Their social media link through to their social profile there. Why? Well, it's important that we are efficient and effective with our time on a daily basis as we are prospecting people. So by you having their link in there, you can just click on their link, take you straight through to their personal profile. You don't have to jump on Facebook or Instagram or wherever to search for their name to find their personal profile. Click on their link, direct to their personal profile, jump inside their inbox and continue the conversation. So you can pile up all the prospects' name there, social media links there, and then to the right-hand side of this, we've got different areas of the conversation, right? And I'm going to show you this area, but I'm going to come back to this. So you had a conversation with this person, you dropped an invite. They showed interest. You invited them or you had a call with them. You sent them a link. Now, as you're going through all these people, not everybody is going to go all the way through, right, to the end. But as you are prospecting and as you're filling this up, you can see, okay, well, Adam Smith here, I dropped an invite, but he didn't get back to me. Let me check, see where we're at with that. So you can take control to drive the conversation forward so all the way through to the end. And then you can tab down here. So who applied, who showed up, and who applied, right? But here as well, there's different colored tabs here that you can quickly highlight on the different stages. So this person here, for example, has only gone through to dropped invite. This person here has, we've had a temperature test call. So very quickly from a 30,000 foot viewpoint, you don't have to look at all these benchmarks here. It's important that we tick these benchmarks here, but you can just quickly look here to see where people are, and you can jump in to move conversations forward. Does that make sense? So it's a very simple prospecting pipeline tracker that tracks conversations at conversational level. And that's what you need in order to make sure that you move people through the conversational pipeline in order to be able to get them to the end, to get them registered and showed up. And then obviously, track who showed up, who registered, who showed up, who applied. And it's like the people that sent a link, but they didn't actually register. Then you can actually follow up with those people. Hey, I seen your link. I realized you've not registered yet. Are you still wanting to attend? Because people do forget. People are busy, and they're not necessarily prioritizing your event. So you've got to be in control of this to make sure that you pull people through to the finishing end, if that makes sense. So that is the event growth grid in its entirety. This video has been a little bit longer than I expected, but I really want to spend a bit of time just to show you how you can use this so you can shorten the learning curve of the struggle and the frustration and the just understanding how it all works. Now you should just be able to pick it up and run with it to start promoting, tracking, running, and measuring your next event, so you can have a 5-figure event, a 6-figure event on your next sales event. My name's Andy Medlam. I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you use this. I hope you maximize this. If you've got any questions around this, you know where I am. Jump in my inbox, ask questions. If you want to schedule a 10-minute call with me to ask any questions or to find out what it actually looks like to work with me inside the sales room, where we help you to build, run, manage, and have an amazing sales online event, then just send me a DM and we can have that conversation, we can have a chat, and we can see where that leads. No sales pressure whatsoever. Andy Medlam, speak to you soon.